This is a little elevator presentation about my robot called Beep Boop. So first of all, this is just the abstract. It's just a little brief overview of what we were doing and what the goal of the project was. And then this spot right here is the project overview. It's just going to be a talk through about every single thing that goes on in this competition. Some rules, my goal, and then the constraints that we start with. And on the far right, it's talking about the different sensors and testing and progress that I had to go through to develop a strategy to finally get to the conclusion that my goal was to initially replicate manual actions in autonomous mode, but that became a too hard of a idea that I had, and I could not actually end up doing that. So I ended up making a hard code that just followed orders and ended what it ended. And you can see that a little bit on the far left. I would make a command, go forward a little bit, then delay to create no like jumpy movements and everything. I also turned on my motor speed to do this. Then I would brake so it wouldn't like turn, go, stop. I wanted a nice firm stop. That's just a couple of lines of what I did. And then right here is the ultrasonic distance sensor. I did not end up actually using it because it was too hard for me to implicate it into my design. I couldn't figure out a great way to do it. And then on the bottom right is the light sensor, and those were some of the values that I got. From the ones were when it was dark, and then the 40 and 20 was in light. And this right here is my state machine code, or state transition diagram. The way that I ended up figuring out what strategy I needed to use and narrowed down my end goal was this little Ferd Park chart that I used at the bottom, and I rated things at 1 through 5. And my items were the auto navigation, line following, light sensing, manual driving, distance sensing, and then I ended up using the ones that were the highest rated, and I ignored the line following and the distance sensing. Overall, it was a fun project. And if I had more time to redo it in the future, I would set forth more time earlier and really laminate out my path and ask more questions to get a great robot out there for the first competition day, the second and the third, instead of just the third, which ended up being what happened for me.